Jan Wade Swayze presents FREE99 podcast. Be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Twitch, Instagram. Search FREE99 podcast. Shout out to all the sponsors.
Thank you.
Shout out to all the listeners.
Also, thank you.
Jan in the building.
Right.
JD Fresh in the building.
Hey, yo.
Rommel.
You're back now at the Jack Off Hour. This is DJ Easy Dick.
Ooh.
All right.
Didn't he just pass away?
Was that a real guy?
Yeah, the real guy passed away. Like
there was a real Easy Dick?
Well, he was the voice of the DJ dog. Yeah, he passed away. I am the good homie guest customer service. On episode 195 of FREE99 podcast.
195.
195 proof.
195. Rommel, please. I know you're about to get in your intro, but I have to, before just let y'all know how much I love this motherfucker right here, and because every little project that I put my name on, he always pulls up, and he's been pulling up. And Rommel, please introduce my brother right here.
So, there is an old Mexican proverb. El que se enoja pierde. Mm-hmm. The literal translation is the one who gets mad loses. And this proverb roughly explains the long journey that our guest has endured. And trust, I'm not referring to that beating he put on Bobby Flay.
Come on, man, I was there for that.
Yes.
Let's start in Mexico City. Not as a child where he first fell in love with Al Pastor, but the late 2010s, where he decided to pivot into a brand new endeavor, attending the Instituto Gastronómico de México to fully embody himself and what he loved. Classic Miguel. This is what he does, motivated by love, like his love for music, his love for San Francisco, his love for community. I'm sorry, did I mention the 700 meals he provided during an epidemic in the heart of the mission in San Francisco? See, he does this.
He does this.
And San Francisco loves him back, dubbing the 13th of July in 2021 Al Pastor Papi Day. El que se enoja pierde. And as well as we can all see, this man stays winning. The FREE99 podcast is honored to have and introduce Miguel Escobedo, a.k.a. Al Pastor Papi, but more fitting, San Francisco Papi.
Woo! Wow. DJ Mr. E in the building, the FREE99 podcast.
Damn. Woo! Making a Mexican cry.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
It's true, man. Like, you move with intent. That intent is usually, from what I've seen or what I can come from or identify, it's all love.
Yeah,
that's it.
I'm a co-sign on that. That's 1,000%.
The crazy thing was that I was gonna go another way with the intro, and it was gonna be how you mastered all 5 senses, right? A sense of touch, taste, smell, right? Sight. I'm missing one, but also there are 6 and 7 senses that really don't go untalked about, and one of them is kind of like spatial, like understanding your space, right? You understood your space, you made it uncomfortable, you became Al Pastor Papi.
Yeah, man. You know, it's like you just gotta like go with your heart, you know, and it is love driven, you know, so it's like it was time to change, you know. It's crazy, man, because with Papalote, I think I achieved everything of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like,
easily.
I could have died in 2010 and it would have been a full, complete story, beginning to end. And it would have been amazing.
With you standing on top of the carcass of Bobby Flay.
Yeah, you know, but I just followed my heart. You know, I think because we've always had a homie pass away.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple. And so every time they leave something that they gave you with you, right?
Yeah.
But you also appreciate this amazing, crazy miracle of a thing called life.
Yeah.
And you just embrace that life with way more intent, right? And you recognize that
Yeah.
a billion things have to happen every second for you to live the next second. That it's a constant miracle.
Yeah.
And so, man, we only have so many of those seconds, right? So we gotta make them count, right? So do things with intent. And when you, one of the things that I love that I learned from my uncle at Celia's was that as a busboy, if you're gonna go from point A to point B, make sure you accomplish as much as you can in that one trip. Check on that table, grab that glass, check on that table, so that when you get to B, you already did 10 things instead of just walking over there, right?
No wasted movement.
Exactly. And so this is how I learn metaphorically how to approach life, right? So it's like if I can uplift someone or help someone on my way there, then you got to do it.
It was funny though when you were reinventing yourself, not reinventing yourself, when you were creating your new space, right? Like, and you partnered with shout out to New York, right? Shout out to Tone, shout out to Kat, and
oh man,
and you were early. You were still early in your business, but you did that off top.
What's crazy is that the inertia of Al Pastor Papi and the inertia of Papalote and the inertia of everything I've done as DJ Mr. E, which everything worked hand in hand because that's who I am.
Right.
Like people would be like, so it's like when I opened up Pastor Papi, I didn't even have burritos. I really came with
tacos,
authentic Mexico City menu, authentic Mexico City approach from top to bottom. 6 months into it, people were like, "Dog, you're the burrito guy. Like you're that dude. Like we did so much with burritos. Like I want to see the progression of that in your menu." I'm like, you know what? I can't fight it.
I mean, Aaron Sanchez did the best.
What was it?
I'm the messiah of the mission or something.
He said that?
Yeah.
Where's homeboy from?
He's Mexican.
No, yeah.
Straight up.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Don't front. Don't fall for the facade.
He
hides all his
he's
tattoos.
He's a beaner. That's
Respect.
Straight frijoles. But so it's like, okay, let's do this. 2 months later, I won Best Burrito in San Francisco. And here's where I'm going to toot my own horn.
Please
it's
do.
Something that I'm proud of is that
I'm just sit back and enjoy this.
I won, with my brother and Papalote, Best Burrito.
Shout out.
A bunch of years in a row from a bunch of different people.
Shout out.
Everyone had their hands on your burrito.
And I liked it. So we could go up and down the list of who was giving us accolades.
Right.
Yeah.
But for me to throw it all away, figuratively speaking,
figuratively
and
speaking.
start from brand new, but that inertia of who I was got me that less than a year open without having burritos. Best burrito in San Francisco again in my new project. So I was very proud of that. And another thing that was something that just came out of nowhere, and I would be more proud of than beating Bobby Flay. I thought that right there was my college degree. That was my fucking moment.
Yeah.
Like I dedicated my life to food, and the payoff was you beat Bobby Flay. But now, because I love the whole community aspect of what I do, to meet and work with Kaepernick.
Yeah. That's
and
huge.
Giving back on his birthday to give back to the community in need at that time.
He came to the Bay to do it.
We were in we were
In the town,
in
right?
the rough part of Oakland,
Mind you, still a new business.
brand new.
Brand new.
Still prime COVID.
And
Right.
we that at that action we donated.
Yeah.
Usually, like know your rights. They will subsidize the project or something.
Shout out to Tony and crew,
We
man.
wanted to donate the food that day to because he was already know your rights camp. They were already doing a bunch of shit that day. So for me to stand next to this man who's not uplifting like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Right.
That was probably a more poignant moment in my career or movement or life than the Bobby Flay joint.
I could see that.
Yeah, that was dope.
Wasn't it you in an interview who said, be careful what you put out in the universe?
100%.
Because look what you got. Riding into San Francisco and you're like, I'm gonna DJ here. I'm gonna live here. I'm gonna set my roots here. I'm gonna give back everything. And look where you're at.
Well,
you called it.
That's what I was saying. Like that was completed. The DJing part was done before I even opened Papalote.
Santa Rosa?
Right.
Santa Rosa.
I was DJing in Santa Rosa.
Shout out to Santa Rosa.
And Funky.
This was all 415 people. If you
Yeah.
don't want to know,
Even Daly
really know
City.
what
This
time
was
it was
415.
San Jose was 415. It was all 415. The Bay was all 415.
all 415. And so I was DJing, I'll spare you the whole stories.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I was living in Santa Rosa and I was DJing, and Funky Hut, who was doing 550 Barnaville at the time,
550.
they were the girl from that promo group was like, "What the fuck are you doing DJing in Santa Rosa? Like, I need to bring you into my camp." Woo, woo, woo. Jeannie G was part of that, and then
Shout out Jeannie G.
I started. She was trying to get me into Wild. She got me with Chris the Rebel, and she was trying to like get me that route. I'm like,
Which was
what?
that? That was that avenue back then, right? Radio was that.
Yeah, and note this on that, but that's not me.
Right.
Especially at that time. She's like, okay, my bad. I misread it. Let me take you to the Beat Lounge.
And you're like, put your feet up.
Beat Lounge, huh?
Come on. Like that was the I couldn't have imagined a more amazing time for DJing than Beat Lounge at Deco.
What year was this? Just to
This
paint the
was
picture.
97, late 97.
96, yeah.
Damn, 97. I was like,
Early 98. And so the first time I
Going to
went
bed.
down there, I saw Spider Monkey scratching like nobody's business. Wisdom, Shortcut, Qbert. Vin Rock was sneaking in there, wasn't 21 yet.
Hey.
And dude, it was like a room the size of this room with a DJ set up in the corner, smoke filled, graffiti covered, and it was just everyone staring militantly at the corner, listening
them
to
do his
every
thing.
break,
In a
every
trance.
cut. It was just amazing. After a few hours of that, everyone went upstairs, and then there was more like mixing and a little
Jiggy.
more party vibe.
Yeah.
Not jiggy.
just a little
It was
looser.
still-
Oh, yeah.
It was
Miguel
still-
was not jiggy at
It
all.
was still like underground music, like real hip hop.
He was my reggae DJ. If I needed a reggae DJ,
a lot,
I'd
of
Migs.
a lot of Camp Low being played.
When
Yeah.
I would do parties, like Migs pulled up. Like when I'm saying Migs pulled up for me a lot, like there's many a dance floor we rocked.
Many,
Many
and
of
that
that-
was vinyl days.
Yes.
We were pulling out 45s.
Remember when they got stolen?
Where was this?
That was really,
I was out there.
that was really truly like I've had some amazing highs in my life. That was one of the lowest. That passed some deaths. I mean, that was soul crushing.
Well, because you feel violated also, right?
They were in toolboxes. If I remember how you
Because
carried them,
it was a
carried them in
perfect
toolboxes.
storm.
Yeah.
Like at that time, 100% DJs have learned the hard way. You just don't ever leave your shit in your car, no matter what.
Yeah.
Take your lazy ass and put them in the crib. I didn't do that day. And so what happened is we were at a concert with it was Dilated and J5 at Berkeley.
Speaking my language.
I was hanging out with Fran Boogie. Then there was the after party with Newmark
Sheesh.
at the New Parish.
Shout out.
And he's hosting. At that time, he still lived out here in D.C. So he's like, Doc, I did like
Wait,
early
Newmark
set.
lived in Daly City?
Fran Boogie.
Oh.
So he's like, Doc, can I get a ride home? I'm like, fuck, dude, I wanted to DJ and cut. But I'm not going to leave the homies behind. So I'm like, all right. So we chilled. And, you know, Fran is doing Fran. So we didn't leave there till like 2 something.
Oh, no.
In Oakland. So my shit was got.
Oh, in the town.
So
That hurts. Sorry, pardon me.
At that point, I had been like digging, buying, going to record shits from Oregon to LA, getting like great pieces of 45s, amazing shit that I didn't even know existed.
Can you name like at least one?
Like Gin and Juice on 45. You know, just all these crazy hip hop 45s.
Yeah.
I probably had a crate of 45s. I would value it at $5,000, $6,000 of just some amazing shit, because I would do a set with the original of the song, and it was the whole way down. So not only they have California Love, but I had the original, you know, and down to like Camp Low and the original,
Right.
just everything
At the
and
joint?
the original, and the original.
At the joint.
Oh, like where they sampled it from and everything.
Yeah.
That's tight.
So
What
that was there, and then my DJ bag with my sick laptop,
yeah.
my nice headphones, but the most I just said all this shit. I could give a rat's ass about all of that. What really hurt me was that my hard drives with all my backup shit, for some reason I had them in my bag and not at home.
Damn.
And there was like sessions of dub plates, remixes I made, just all my work
Yeah.
Pre-cloud.
gone.
Yeah. Pre-cloud. Very pre-cloud.
I'll tell you why that hurt. When I switched from vinyl to Serato, and I was probably the most stubborn soldier to make that switch.
That was a transition, because a lot
That
of
was
people.
the most. I was not happy.
People skip CDJ altogether, and they stayed on wax.
Yeah.
People skip CDJ.
And so, and I still don't fuck with CDJs. No disrespect.
But do you, boo boo?
So,
Yeah.
Shortcut and Apollo were like, dog, if you switch, we'll give you some music. And what some music meant was
Catalog.
some of Shortcut's other DJs' friends' music, including,
Oh,
I won't say any names of whose shit it was, but a lot of rare Dilla shit.
I just want to bite this
That's some not available. So that was gone.
That whole I've like seen documentaries and read up on Dilla and just his work ethic, right? How he would basically just be in the lab at like random hours. He'll create like a CD and just hand out the beats.
I was late on Dilla.
And then
I
like
was super late.
But you weren't. You knew it was. You loved the music. You
Yeah.
just didn't know it was Dilla.
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
you later on, you're like, "That's Dilla."
Yeah.
I've been in love with Dilla.
Yeah, like when he was part of the
The
Uma.
Uma.
Yeah.
I
he didn't get credit.
I worked at KMEL, and I met Miggs when I was like 21, and I was a Radiohead, straight up from the city, Radiohead. That's Giants hat, everything. That was me. And then I started eating his food a lot, and then getting invited to the functions and learning different music, like getting access to early mixtapes that I still have, the hi-fis that I still have with the red cover.
Oh, yeah.
Still have. I have multiple. Sorry, because he would have music playing, and then he would leave copies of that mixtape playing like on top of the CD
I
player.
loved that so much. I met so many cool people. You know, we did the reggae, a lot of the rootsy shit, and I had the most amazing mentors in Jaw Warrior Shelter.
Shout out to the shelter, man.
Fucking put me under their wing and really show me And it was like they're the shelter, but Weiser has a different approach. That's one of the days that changed my life. Was that Milk?
Yes, I was
Before
about
it
to
was
say
called Milk.
What was it called before? I forgot.
It was
I
like
forget
Malk.
the name.
No, it was like I forget. Delirium?
Leche.
Not Delirium.
Yeah, the leche.
But I saw him. I think it was him and Mike Nice. Not
Shout out to Mike Nice,
No, my
though.
bad. Shout out to Mike Nice. I love it. It was
Boy.
Mike 1.
Shout out to Mike 1 too, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all fucking OGs.
All Mike's affiliated.
Yeah, Mike too. Also, I don't know if there's one.
Mikey. What's up, Mikey?
No, yeah, Mikey,
So,
love you.
I saw Weiser just rock the most craziest reggae 45 set, and it literally changed my life to where I was like, God, I really want to
Learn.
like I went to Mexico to really know about El Pastor. I went to Ja Warrior to really know about reggae. So Weiser will show you one way.
Dole.
Ivier will show you
Ivier.
another way. Dole will show you, and they all had different flavors. And I was blessed to learn from them, from DJ Day,
Shout out to Day.
from Smokey, One Blood, a bunch of cats, man.
So-
Like really, the community was tight.
I want to ask you a question right there. That single point, right, where you were kind of like falling in love with that whole genre, right? I remember there was a moment in time that my brother and I were on Mixcrate, and we fell in love with a mix that you and Short did.
Oh yeah,
Lovers Rock.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have that. I still have that.
Yo.
I
Shout out
have
to
that
Mixcrate.
hard copy.
God.
No, that
Shout out to
fucking love.
Mixcrate.
That
What's up,
Lovers
Randall?
How you went from like just like some
Love you, Randall.
old 60s like Isaac Hayes-ish like, and then you went into the Lovers Rock.
Dennis
Jennifer
Brown.
Laura,
Man, like you
right?
You know that
Like-
that was like
It was a fuck, like it blew my mind.
that was some beautiful music being put out. That everything at that to that point that had influenced me, Dilla, reggae, hip hop, the Latin shit. It just all like it's that feel.
Yeah.
It's that feel, and that CD was dope. Man.
Do you still have that kind of like? Because I that's something that I recently realized that I kind of underappreciate, and I've been kind of not taking advantage of. I used to love just like digging for music.
Oh man, I think that's the only main part of my connection to DJing now.
Yeah.
So if you've like Fran Boogie does a Thursday night at the Lion Hotel.
Shout out to Line Hotel.
It's like a happy
Shout out
hour.
to Thursdays.
Super dope, super fly. If you guys get a chance, fuck with that because it's rooftop, it's sexy, and it's dope. And you don't have to come with like you just be you and vibe out.
That's what's up.
And I got to do a set there. I was doing some sets for Anthony Presents over at when he took over that food truck park area, and so I just some days just to chill. I still go, I'll spend like 4 or 5 hours digging.
Where do you
Right,
dig though?
well, right now what I'm digging for a lot is like remixes of shit. I'm piano to some point.
Are you saying digging online or
digging online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Digging
Like
online.
SoundCloud.
That's not as fun though.
It's
Band-
but it's still
Bandcamp.
fun. It's
Yeah.
because
The access is more.
the technology has made it easier for more cats.
To make it.
There's a lot more whack cats, but there's a lot
True.
more dope cats.
It's true.
that
That's what I'm
didn't
talking
have-
about. No, you gotta sift through
No,
it.
no, you
man.
gotta sift through it.
Yeah.
Some shit's mad corny. A lot of shit's off count. Like they've missed the acapella. Like, bro,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on. But there's a lot of dope ass shit. I'm gonna keep it real.
That's very. That's very.
I
sexy.
really gotta dig for it.
Thousands.
So I found some beautiful like tropical vibe stuff, Latin remix stuff, and piano, just some vibey shit, housey vibey shit.
Yeah, dude, house.
Yeah, some people are making some beautiful
like
shit.
some dope soulful house shit.
And so I've been able to make these sets just from stuff I've dug, and they come out really dope, like just sounds good. And again, it's that if it just feels good, then
Yeah.
I go with it.
How'd you dip into DJing? Because like there had to be a love. Like you fell in love with it because you seen this or
Well,
Ooh, I like that question.
the main the main component of me becoming a DJ was I was a b-boy first.
Hey, all the elements.
So I
All the
was
elements. What was
you
your
know, but
b-boy
I was-
name?
I-
What's your
I-
Damn,
b-boy
all the
grew up in
elements, all
Marin.
the senses. Damn. Bro.
we would, you know, it was the royalty crew.
Roll out the royalty
Shout
crew.
out to Mario and Raul and
Fakaki.
all my Marin
Mario.
San Rafael heads.
And shout out to Concrete Rockers. too.
Concrete Rockers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially Jan Wayne Swayze.
Hey, shout out.
This guy right here, look at him. Look
The
at him.
royalty crew.
He
The
wears
royalty
baggy hoodies
crew.
to hide his
And I
muscles.
was like, you know, I would more like into popping and strutting and shit. We'd come out to Pier 39 and battle for our space.
Ah,
So some
that
of
was
the best
different.
times was
That's
like
tight.
we would all 10 of us would have just barely enough money to take Golden Gate Transit to the 49 to
49
Pier 39. And then we'd make enough money to eat, put on a fresh set of D batteries in the box,
Hey,
and
Nice.
get home.
Damn.
enough for the day.
Enough for the day, and it was some of the best shit.
Did each battle start with, "Hey, sucker"?
Yo, man.
What was
No,
your
but it
favorite?
was, you know.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
was
And
exciting,
So from
right?
there, the music
That was
was
explosive.
so
Shit.
exciting and so new.
Jan got stuff. Go ahead, Jan.
All right, here's an interesting question for you.
Do you remember battling me?
Why'd you gotta beat me like that? Exactly. My family.
I remember you.
So then,
Wait, so
I'm
that's
Chile
you?
Verde Papi.
so then, being a b-boy, right? You kind of follow the music and you kind of have to hit all the beats and stuff. Was that kind of like a training ground for your like rhythm, like for becoming a DJ, like kind of like
Catching the beat.
100%.
Hitting the beat, yeah, okay.
100%. You have to know the music. I mean, that's part of the choreography, right? And especially if you're like strutting next to a guy and you do like, and then he, and then you go, then he, It's like, and it's more dramatic when you hit it on the breakdown and you hit it, you know. So you learn your 16 count and you learn your 8 count and you learn all that. Compounded with the fact that I was already from a musical family. My dad was a musician. And it's just
shout
really,
pops.
I mean, I would spend hours going through this 8-track and I would hear funk, cumbia, rock, reggae, Ika Mouse. You know, I was exposed
Wow, your
to.
pops had Ika Mouse
Oh,
on the
my
8
pops
track?
is bad motherfucker, dude.
Hey! Shout out to you.
I don't know if he had the 8-track. That might have been some vinyl. He had a good vinyl collection, 8 tracks. And so, but we're talking way back.
Yeah.
So,
And even in Mexico, they have like they're like rock.
oh man.
Like it's crazy.
Their
They-
metal,
they
their
did-
metal
Yeah,
is
their
metal.
metal is metal.
Not only that, but like they had like very famous musicians doing like 50s rock in Spanish. And that shit was, I learned that first.
That's tight.
Like when I heard the shit in English, I'm like, oh shit, they copied that shit.
Oh, that's not what I hear in
Biters.
Spanish.
What are you biting, son? So anyways, yeah, the music was, and when I first heard, the first concert I ever went to
Yes.
in my life, I was 14 years old, and I went to see,
Where were you?
I was leaving a soccer tournament in San Rafael, and we went to Berkeley, and I saw Herbie Hancock.
Ooh,
and
that's a good first.
and the opening was Steel Pulse.
Oh, wow.
That was my first concert.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just off a whim. Just
And
being
it's
in the
crazy.
area.
But I,
Did you guys
I
win
know
that
I wanted
soccer?
to see Herbie Hancock rock it live because I've heard it and the scratching blew my fucking mind. I was like, I gotta see this. But I didn't know how moved I was gonna be with Steel Pulse. It was so sick.
It shows the range too.
And so there, that kind of like told you what was about to happen for the next 40 years. But not only that, Herbie Hancock, Rocket, Dr. Dre, Surgery, and a couple other joints. I was drawn to the scratching. You know, I was like, fuck, I gotta know what the fuck's going on with that. So I had a home Fisher record player.
Oh, wow.
Had
Fisher
two-
record player.
He had two, dual cassette deck, radio, and a turntable.
Oh, shit.
And I figured out without even seeing a mixer or knowing what that was about. I figured out with scratching that the forward sound you could hear,
Yeah.
but the backward sound you couldn't hear. How can I do that? So I could go like fresh, and not fresh. So I would put my finger on phono, fresh, then still on phono, press tape, bring it back, and it would be silent. So I'd be like fresh, and that's how I learned.
That's like
how
a
to
mixer,
scratch.
man.
But I didn't.
That's wild. How old were you?
Wow.
I was 13.
Yo.
On a Fisher set.
Wow.
That's how
You made a mixture
Just
out of
made-
a home entertainment system.
So what did I do? I bought another one.
Another Fisher set.
Another Fisher set just like it. And I put 2 speakers, but double wired both so I could hear everything going on 2 speakers.
You know what's dope too is that your
crazy.
pops is like into music, so he sees you getting like a second Fisher set, and he's like, "Hey, this motherfucker's spinning right now."
Yeah. We about to have the illest block party any
He's
minute
like,
now.
it's like, yo,
Block
watch.
party
I
is about to be
actually
lit.
I did like a high school shit on tape decks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I would do like some sick ass pause tapes
You did. I'm sorry. Oh, hold on. Sorry. You did an entire high school dance,
with cassettes.
and then that's why you're like, "Fuck CDJ."
I'm gonna keep it vinyl.
Yeah, exactly. We keep it vinyl.
You know.
Time.
Keep it real on the real,
Yeah.
But
You want
the
some
the music just was so amazing and new. The Planet Rock was the first 12-inch I bought, and I was
Well,
just
where'd you buy that?
Record Factory.
Yo, Record Factory.
Record Factory gets talked
There
about a
was
lot
one in
here.
Sarah
Yo, shout out to the
That was so there was a chain of it. Record
Yeah,
Factory.
there was a couple. Now I know. Later on, high school years, seniors, I would drive to Tower Records.
Stonestown.
Tower Records right after the bridge over
Oh.
there by Fisherman's Wharf.
Yeah, Columbus.
I would go to the Stonestown
Yeah.
one upstairs. And then Bobby G's.
Wow.
Bobby G's
G's.
was the first record pool I joined. So I would get some stuff from Bobby G's. And yeah, dude. Just,
Shout out to LS at Amoeba.
yeah.
So like, you mentioned like Herbie Hancock, like Rocket, right? I love that because there are like moments in music where somebody kind of like changes the entire landscape, right? Like Tom Morello.
Yeah.
Like when he was scratching on the fucking like guitar, you're like, yo, like my mind can't comprehend. What was the last time? Do you remember the last time that happened to you?
The last time that music fucked my head up.
Like
Yeah,
somebody did
really
something that was
touched
like,
you.
I mean, it didn't even have to be revolutionary. It just had to be something that you were like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, this is different.
As far as music, I don't know, man, because I've seen so many greats do so many things. It's hard for me to like super blow my mind on like I've been to raves in LA
Yeah.
and like heard, so many great heads do like just amazing vinyl
Yeah.
blends where you don't know where the song ended and the song, like the real shit.
How about this? I'm gonna switch it up. What about in food?
food wise?
Yeah, like somebody did something, then you're just like what the fuck?
You can let that question cook.
Yeah, let that cook.
Let that
Yeah,
question cook real
I'm gonna
quick.
let it cook because I like that.
So, just talking on that, I'm gonna give you 3 cities, okay? You have to name a restaurant in each city that's a guaranteed good meal, no matter what kind of food it is. Guaranteed good meal.
Okay.
I was Daly City, South San Francisco.
San Rafael.
San Rafael.
So yeah, San Rafael.
I'm gonna say. I mean, I may be biased and say Celia's. I think San Rafael Celia's is the best Celia's.
Whoa, hold on. We've talked about this and how there are different Celias. You are saying the one in San Rafael is the best.
San Rafael.
I think they have been the most consistent and true to the original recipes than all the Celia's. That's just from my experience.
And who? And
I mean, you're busting tables. I trust you.
Just to round that out, who was Celia's to you?
So Celia's,
Celia's.
Celia is my mom's great aunt, right?
That's blood.
And they started the first Celia's in the avenues. It's still there. My uncles, when they came, they started busboying and washing dishes and working at these Celia's places. And they said, hey, let's open up a couple more. So then they did San Mateo, San Rafael. And then one of my uncles said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do a bunch more on my own. Cool, whatever. However it went down. So now there's Menlo Park, Palo Alto,
Daly City,
there's a few more. I think there was a Berkeley, the San Rafael. We had a Celia's in Santa Rosa. Daly City, and that my cousins run that.
Great chimichangas.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Celia's is just some good, hot, like warming Mexican fare. That's, you know, it tells the story of where Mexican cuisine was back then. You see what I'm saying? And that's not been lost. Are you gonna find a lot of that stuff in Mexico? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, enchiladas, yes. But I think back then in the 40s, 50s, there was a Tex-Mex influence to Mexican food in the United States.
Yeah.
And that carried over to the tradition and the menu of Celia's to this day.
Where did like what is it? It's like polenta. Polenta is like, you know, they have that at like Chevy's and stuff like that, right?
Like a little corn thing?
Yeah, like is that something that's like usually
is that
seen
American?
in, like,
No,
is that
I
American?
think that was more American, and that was more like
we have like an abundance of corn like that.
kind of like
palate
not
cleanser.
quite as labor intensive as making a tamale.
Oh, I see.
So it's like
lazy
an
asses.
easier,
American.
more budget friendly way for you to have that flavor sensation without
Yeah.
the cost of labor of actually making tamales.
I mean, I love it. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that shit is
delicious.
I wish their scoopers were bigger.
I mean, you know, back in the Chevy's heyday, fuck yeah, we'd go there and get the fucking
All you can eat chips.
the
Hell
tortilla
yeah.
machine thing.
Or the
and then-
brunch. Remember
and
they
then-
had brunch?
Hold on.
Okay.
Before you say it, I still feel like the El Torito brunch.
Come on.
It's not even that good, but
No.
it's amazing.
It is
What
amazing.
the hell's going on, dude?
Yeah.
It's the variety. How
It's
it's
just
just
like-
opened up. Like
That's like
everything's
I mean,
here.
if
We're
you get
basically
like
talking
a
about Michael
michelada
Cera.
or a fat ass margarita, and it's a great time out.
Oh, yeah. that is a great timeout. That's a great
Like I said,
timeout.
it's not even that great, but it's amazing.
It's not that great, but
It's a Steven
amazing.
Seagal.
Yeah, it's a good. It's a good family time because the whole block's there.
Yeah.
So San Rafael, you said it would be Celia's.
Celia's.
Okay.
Honorable mention, Soul.
Shout out to Soul. Soul is delicious.
Soul.
Beefsteak sandwich.
I almost think it's a little overrated,
Now.
but it's still very good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But-
Oakland. Oakland.
Oakland. Well, you know,
Oakland.
I'm gonna say that
Until he gets his 45s
I
back.
haven't been able to explore a lot of the new. There's been
Oakland is
an
growing.
amazing
Oakland is growing.
burst of new cuisines of all types in Oakland, and
Shout out to the town.
and bummed that haven't been able to explore cuisine in Oakland.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna narrow it down to tacos. And if you haven't tried Ultimo Baile tacos, that's a homie who's really, I want to say, I mean, he's definitely a mentor to me with the Al Pastor Papi project, and the way that he's so passionate about how he delivers his food and the way he approaches. I think Ultimo Baile Tacos is the best carne asada in the Bay.
I'm sorry. Can we use all three mics and say that again?
Ultimo Baile Tacos is the best carne asada in the Bay, and I'm not, and I don't hesitate to say it.
Yeah.
Like that guy really puts a beautiful approach to. I mean, you taste that shit, and it's on some other level. Like he's so passionate, almost to a fault.
It's a love. It's a love
Because
language
sometimes when you're so passionate about your art, you don't emphasize the business of what you're doing, and he could give a rat's ass And so,
I was just gonna say shout out to Jen. I was just gonna say that shit.
so fuck with Ultimo Baile if you can.
Shout out.
His approach to tacos is impeccable.
Carne asada Papi.
Wow.
Yeah, that's that dude.
Wait, so
go
I'm sorry.
ahead,
Wait. So have you ever had any of those like is it El Sonora tacos?
Sinaloa.
Yes, Sinaloa.
You know, I've had a lot of different trucks. Not recently. I tried El Sazon does a really good job. They park off the. They're just a new truck, and they do what they do. They do great. I'm not a big fan. I shouldn't say, but I'm just not as big a fan as everybody else of birria tacos.
Yes.
Like I love birria. Don't get me wrong. I've had birria since I was little. My mom's from Jalisco.
But like the goat.
But
like
when you have it, it's a stew.
Yeah.
And you grab a tortilla and you fuck it up, and that's how I was raised. So it's already like, when this whole like quesabirria trend came out.
Yeah.
And the first people that were doing it, El Garage, La Santa Torta,
That other spot like off
those
of
cats
Valencia,
were crushing
yeah.
their that technique. Now it's become a dime a dozen, and it's hit and miss.
Yeah.
And it's I've had some really crappy birria tacos because a birria is a process, dog. It's like really, if you do it right.
It's a lot of attention to detail.
Yeah, man, and the way it's supposed to be done, it's not always done now. People just boil some meat, throw some chili powder, and call it birria, and that's not popping.
It's not popping. What about the Matter Daddy? Have you ever heard of those?
What is it?
Matter Daddy?
Madre?
No, Matter Daddy.
Oh no, where's that? Where's that from?
Matter Daddy?
It's not gonna work. Let's go.
Sorry. Fucking with
Nothing.
I am fucking with you.
Nothing.
Are we fighting?
Okay. Okay. Side question. Where would you, if you were gonna get birria, where would it be from?
There's a place in San Mateo, and I gotta ask my mom and dad where it is, and that's where my mom and dad go.
Is that the one on North Apple?
It's it's like on B Street. I don't know, and I gotta ask them.
On B Street. Okay.
But they do it the OG style. You get a big ass bowl of goat birria, side of rice and beans, tortillas, and you go to town. And that's the best.
It's
birria.
a stew. It's a stew.
It's a stew. It's always been a stew, and
it's a stew.
I have to ask you a question. My good friend Rich swears that Redwood City has better Mexican food than San Francisco.
that might have been true maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, motherfucker.
But
sorry, Rich. Louis.
I think Oakland right now is leading the way, and as far as where Mexican food is going. So as far as like I Mexican food has always been on trend, and people are gonna sell what sells, what's in demand,
Yeah.
which I like and I don't like, because then what are you doing? What are you the purveyor of?
Yeah,
And that's why I like Ultimo Baile, because he didn't jump on the birria trend. He didn't jump on the Tijuana style trend. He's still doing what he does. I want to say that about myself. Like, I'm a Pastor Papi. I'm still going to make Al Pastor tacos. I'm not going to start making birria because it sells. I'm not here just to make money. I'm here to share a piece of my culture with you. And so, yeah, man, like, I don't know, like
I feel it.
So that's.
I feel it. What about Delhi City?
I do want to say though,
I
love exactly what you said, because the more that people pander to the masses, the more they lose their authenticity.
Everyone's chasing the check, though, right?
Well,
a lot of
there's
people-
got to be a fine line somewhere, because you can't just become a cafeteria.
Yeah.
Then what are you the purveyor of? What is your passion? It's like,
Who do you represent?
Who are you? You're sharing something of yourself with the people, so it's like that gets lost.
Bars. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Bars.
Go ahead.
And then
Delhi City.
If you were gonna eat in Delhi City, Coma, let's include the whole 650. Just to widen the landscape.
Again, man. Like, I love Mexican food.
Hey.
And La Tapatía is fucking shit up for me.
Grand Avenue.
Grand Avenue.
Shout out to Grand.
Been
Like I really
Yep.
like their
Cash
That
approach.
family do it.
And you know, it's like, here's my thing. It's like, you see a lot of people now. What's trendy now is to be a food IG person, right? And that's cool. Like, I'm not knocking people's hustle.
especially if we've been eating.
Yeah. Tell them.
We eating.
Tell them.
Hey, I'm not saying nothing, but I'm saying something.
So that and it needs to be said. But my whole thing is like, that's cool. You're speaking to an audience that also might not be well food read. But everyone's going out to eat. Everyone can like and not like something, and you're just sharing what you like and don't like.
Or what
Right.
you're being paid to. Or what you're being
And
paid
it
to.
doesn't
like
mean that you know about food. You're not a chef.
Right.
And some people are, right? So it's different people's opinions.
Yeah.
Right? But
just spitting right
I'm just saying, dog, and like, so if you're coming from it from an angle of, hey, I'm just eating food and I want to share what I like and I don't like, I like that.
Yeah.
A guy that I really, really like right
Keith
now
Lee?
is the Snack Sensei.
Hey.
Oh, yo.
That cat is
City Boys, we up.
he's cool as fuck.
Yeah, I'll tell you-
and he's a great example of, hey, I'm just gonna try some dope shit and
Yeah.
then some like Taco Bell new release shit and share with you in a very entertaining fashion.
Shout out to Oscar. Yo.
how he does it.
Shout out.
The funny thing is
Sensei,
that
shout
it's
out.
so funny that you mentioned that because
Shout out to Ollie.
next shout out to Jeremy. He used to be my next door neighbor and he used to make beats for Oscar, who was Snack Sensei, right? Grando.
Randall.
And every fucking Tuesday or like one day of the week, I'd catch him outside. Him and his roommate, Jeremy and his roommate. And like, I'm like, where y'all coming from? Like, yo, we just came from Apple Store Papi, dog. They loved your shit, bro. And they would do it like, they would have it weekly. And I was like, yo, like that's respect.
And I mean, when he came at us with like, hey man, I don't want to talk about nothing, but just I want to do a thing with you, and let's not worry about nothing else. I just really love your food and want to share it with the people. I'm like,
Dude, shout out to Oscar. We would love to have him on, bro.
yeah, you should, dude. That guy, you know, there's just some people
Shout out.
that life's about timing,
Yeah.
and he found his timing right now. For everything that he's learned and known, it's working for him right now, and he's going with it.
I want to thank you for your timing too, because
Yeah.
we know like time is not a luxury for everyone, right? And for you to make time to, like I said, every little project that I had, you always pulled up.
Oh man, because you're the homie.
At 1,000% too. So, like Miguel knows because he's been around. The industry is weird, and
It's
then
weird as fuck,
we're talking
man.
about like not even like the club industry, is like the food industry and just like the social media industry now. Everything is weird, right? And there's very few authentic people, and I would co-sign on this motherfucker any day of the week. Like, he is one of the most realest dudes. You'll get great food. You'll get service with a smile, and he's never switch up.
But I do
Never
want to,
switch
I do want to keep it super real and acknowledge that I'm just a man, and I've done amazing things. I've done great things, and I've also made huge mistakes in my life, right?
Life be lifing.
And life be lifing. And,
Life be lifing.
Life hella be life.
You know, you just gotta
Shout out to my ex-wife.
learn from your mistakes and just try to move forward and be better. And that's the path I'm on right now.
You know what I love about you is the fact that, you know, even when you were talking about your homie in Oakland who does like carne asada, you give him his flowers. You acknowledge the hard work that he does.
Yeah, man, I see
You
it.
recognize all of those different poppies out there.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, and they inspire me. Like I was saying, like La Tapatía, like.
Yeah, shout out
And
to La
back to
Tapatía,
that,
man.
back to that, like real food experience. How can you rate La Tapatía if you haven't experienced real ass Mexican street food in all over Mexico?
Yeah.
Right.
I come from that.
Yeah.
And to go there, from the moment you walk in, every aisle you go through, I feel like I'm at home. So please acknowledge, if you've never been to Mexico, that they're literally bringing Mexico to you.
Yeah, they're bringing
And
the culture.
It's a beautiful experience, and you'll realize one day when you go to La Tapatia and you check everything out. If you get to go to Mexico, you'll be like, "Oh shit, I felt this before." La Tapatia, right?
So, I'm sorry to cut you off real quick,
No, good.
I don't, as you know, I don't know if you do know, but for every guest that we have here, we like to play a little game with them.
Well, I'm not taking off my clothes, dude. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, it looks like we've all lost. So
You've
today's
actually won.
today's game
Yeah.
is called Who's Your Papi?
Hey, who's your Papi?
I am going to ask you a set of questions
Questions
about different famous poppies and papas who have left a mark in all of our lives.
Okay,
Yeah.
You ready to go?
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
let's fucking go.
We're
Officer
here.
Papi in the
That's what
house.
I'm here for.
That's what you're here for.
Officer Papi in the house. Yeah.
Question number 1. Brother of Rick. He is the father of Pump. Which papa is this?
Wait, this is a quiz show, dog?
Say it again. Run it back. Brother of Rick.
Brother of Rick.
Yeah.
He is the father
Father
of Pump.
of Pump.
Which
Oh, man.
papa is this?
I'm a lifeline. If you want a lifeline.
Fuck,
You're a
dude. How you going to give me a bunch of Jameson and ask me some shit? I just got off work.
Just got off work straight from the
Use a
straight from
lifeline.
here.
Gus is an amazing lifeline.
I'd like to use a lifeline.
Go ahead.
Is Big Papa Pump from the NWO Buff Back? No, Big Papa Pump.
Big papa. Yep.
Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner.
This is some awesome wrestling nerd shit.
You are correct.
Big Papa Pump.
You guys are beautiful. This is beautiful.
Question number 2.
Jesus.
Lover of Mofongo. This daddy has a collection of World Series rings. Which Boston Red Sox is this
Papi. That's it. Papi.
David Ortiz.
David
I mean,
Ortiz.
David
Ortiz.
If
You
there's
are
one person
correct.
you can call just Papi, it's
2 for 2, bro.
Papi.
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Well, you got the assist on the first
That's
one.
it. You know what though?
100%.
Hey, there's no Kobe with no Shaq. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
A line chef. That's all it is. Line
Question is a
chef.
sous chef. All right, question number 3. This young Filipino boxer recently suffered his first loss and is from the UK. What is his name?
I 100% need a lifeline.
Gus.
Salt Papi.
You were correct. It is
Wow.
Salt Papi.
This is amazing. I'm going to learn something today.
And this is the last question of the
Jesus
game.
Christ.
Okay.
This is the important one.
Okay, I'm never coming back here again.
Hey, he is.
Actually, no. This is the second. This is the second to the last. one.
Second to last. Second to last.
Okay. This man froze up in the last round of a rap battle against B Rabbit. Which papa is this?
Papa Roach.
Close.
What's his
Lifeline.
Should I say it? Or
Yeah,
Yeah. That's your lifeline.
8 Mile. Papa Dog.
Papa Dog.
Papa Doc.
Everybody voted 213.
That was the best. I just saw that movie too.
Everybody voted 213.
Last question. Are you ready?
Papa Doc.
This Papi has given back to the community. Set roots
Come on, man.
in the Bay
I
Area
might know this.
Come on, man.
and is one of the most well-respected men out there
That's my brother,
on
man.
the streets.
That's my brother,
Which
man.
Papi is this?
Which Papi is this, man?
Let's hear him say.
I might have to say Al Pastor Papa.
Correct. Al motherfucking
Wait,
Pastor
it's
Papi.
not Papa Roach?
No.
But he does cut his life into
Shout
pieces.
out. Yeah, you know I love him. Shout out. I had
This is great.
a question. Talk about.
This guy did his homework.
He did.
Like, overdid.
Talk about.
And I love it.
Talk about Swift Rock. The reason why we're drinking Jameson.
You know what? Like,
The reason why we're
I
drinking
gotta fucking
Jameson
handle the Jameson.
was via your request.
they were like, what do you want to drink? I'm like, the answer to that is 100% always tequila. Always. But because
It's kind of gay. Oh, sorry.
because you know Swift was part of our family. And then we are in Daly City, and tomorrow I'm gonna pull out my Swift Rock candle for Dia de los Muertos, as I do every day, every year for him. We wanna, in honor of him, have a little Jameson as we do every time I go visit him. So we're drinking Jameson for Swift, who's another person that super influenced the way I DJ and the way I approach crowds.
I think more importantly, you said it at the top of the episode, the way you approach life.
100%. And like I said, yes, he left so much for me to give back to my community, give back to my children. And so he's always going to live with me, with us. And, but directly speaking, like, I love Swift Rock as a DJ. He was an impeccable DJ in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
And he was a master of his craft. Whether it came to mixing the real shit, some jiggy shit, making beats, his approach was always impeccable and well prepared, which influenced me in what I do. But more so than a DJ, I loved how B was a beautiful man in the way that he was always understanding and open to what you thought, and he always saw you. You know, he didn't just come with his opinion or push his
Agenda,
on you
yeah.
or whatever. He really like conversated with you and had some great input as far as what you had to bring, so
That was a bad motherfucker too.
he's a
bad. He's a
DJ.
bad
Like,
motherfucker too.
when you are, I've always said this, I said this last time I was here and I'll say it next time I'm here, is Shortcuts probably the best DJ that ever DJ'd. And to be Shortcut's sparring partner, like your dude, to bounce off what you do, that was Swift Rock, right? So that's who Swift Rock was, and so we drink to him today, yeah, for sure.
For sure, love, for sure. Tamara Palmer,
Tamara is one of the dopest persons ever.
T Money.
She's a friend, and but also like
Original foodie.
a very brilliant person.
Yes.
She's brilliant in her
Yes.
approach to her craft. I just fuck with some dope motherfuckers.
Yeah, we do. Fucking shout out to Tamara Palmer.
Tamara again sees you and wants to let people know about you. She's excited for you. She's a dope DJ, and she respects and approaches the craft in a beautiful, respectful manner.
Yes.
And her writing as well as her DJing,
Everything with intent.
everything with purpose,
Yes.
everything with intent,
Yes.
and everything to uplift as many people as
Shout out to
she
T,
goes.
man.
When she buzzes tables, she grabs glasses from all the places
From
before she
point B
gets
to
to A to
C.
B.
Yeah.
So shout out to her, and yeah, she's a very special person, and I want to say that she's responsible for me being on Bobby Flay, because she wrote
T-Money.
She wrote an article way before that shit about DJs
In the
that
Bay Area.
are also chefs.
Yep.
Pam the Funkstress was mentioned.
Shout out to Pam.
And DJ Mr. E was mentioned. And that
Shout out to
article
Migs.
got a lot of buzz back before buzz was buzz. So that opened a lot of doors and I believe Food Network saw that amongst all of their studies. And
Yeah.
T Money featured We Eating episode 1, and then that's what kind of like gave us a pop. And
Wow.
Shout out to Tamara Palmer is very important to the Bay Area food scene. A lot of people
Dog.
don't know, like, right?
I don't know.
she's
I'd
not-
love to know that.
She's
that
she's
one.
not like this flashy person with
Robert
2,000, 20, 30, 100,000 million followers.
Nope.
She's just,
A
but
real
she's
person.
responsible for a lot of shit.
Yes.
She's interviewed everyone you admire. She's sat next to them and interviewed them.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Maze. Let me see here. When you had the when you had the Bobby Flay episode, you did a watching party.
Yeah.
Do you remember what food that you showcased at this watch party?
There was 2 watch parties. There was the one at the Mission Cultural Center, and then there was the one at Milk.
Yep. Do you remember the food you showcased at Milk?
At Milk, I don't. Was it? What was it?
Something
Adobo hobo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Adobo
the
hobo. Adobo hobo and Migs did a seasick burrito, and I want first it was chicken adobo. First it was chicken adobo in 09.
I almost want to say we did, yeah, because those guys. So when there was the first,
Shout out to Adobo hobo.
there was the first recession.
Yep.
A lot of professional, brilliant people.
Yeah.
Lost their shit.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them, the creme brulee guy.
And this is
Adobo
circling back
hobo.
to Tamara Palmer.
Yeah,
She
pizza
was
hacker.
Yep.
So what people would do is they
Curry
created
up now.
food. Yep.
Oh yeah, Korea.
Yeah.
They created food, and their thing was like, they would announce on Twitter,
Yeah.
we're at Dolores
Proceed
for the
apart.
next 2 hours.
Yep.
Fuck with us. And people would be like, oh shit. And they'd have a line and sell
I used to
out.
chase the creme brulee guy when
There was
I
a
sat
double hobo.
Double hobo. There was ABC, the cheese melt pizza hacker, like you said. Smitten.
Lumpia cart.
Smitten was early on the back of a bike. And Tamara Palmer put me on this. Like, it was a Prestige's Eyes, and she was like, hey, pull up on them. And it was like the first time I ever had like a gluten-free like fucking cupcake. And it was just people who would just cook shit and was just
That really
be out.
revolutionized a lot of the landscape of food as we know it now, and started a lot of things that you eat now, but they were influenced by that whole movement.
Twitter was a real thing for like finding
Yeah.
foods. Just a side note, me and my mom had one, and we did one event. Her name was Master Flan, and she did like leche flan and toron. So that was me and my mom
You
did
guys
that.
only did one?
Yeah, we did one, and it
This
was like
guy.
when it was like in an alley right behind like 21st. There was like an alley that would be in the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like shout out to the Lumpia cart. There was a lot of early people,
really was.
A lot of early people,
who like
Push the
revolutionized
envelope
on cuisine. Being outside, like bringing
Yeah.
home cooking outside to the masses.
I'm not gonna lie, I still like order beef jerky off Instagram.
Shout out to Beef Jerky
Well,
on
you know,
Instagram.
yeah. Everyone has-
it's like a different like.
But everyone has their flaws. You can air everything out. You can just air.
You know what I mean?
Feel free to air everything out here with us.
This
brothers.
is the platform for it. This is the platform for it.
Yeah, we're here for you, brother.
I don't jerk to OnlyFans. I jerk to beef jerky.
Hey, shout out to my homegirl that does her flan company. That's only flans.
Hey,
we go
full circle.
We've talked about that before, and somebody didn't get the joke. I don't want to say
that's
name.
And like,
That's dope.
like, what a catch that was to name your shit only
flans.
flans. That's
Yeah.
just.
Does she
That's
also?
an
Does she,
alley-oop.
do they come with feet pics?
It's only flans.
Only
My
flan.
bad.
Yeah, man, but that was an exciting time in food, and like we were still papa-loading back then, and
It was different.
yeah, it really was.
It was
man.
Miguel used to
But-
come up to the club with trays
Trays of
full of food. Trays of food. You would have a DJ and the chef, and he'll come up with like chicken quesadillas and
Shrimp.
salsa and the chips
chips and salsa, rice and beans, and people would like, I wouldn't bring it out till like 1:30 in the morning.
Very end.
So all the diehards that stayed
You got your
would be
reward.
fucking
Yes,
up
you'd
some
be
club.
fed. You'd be
But
fed.
come on, man. Like I can't go on any further with this interview without acknowledging how important and helpful We Eatin' was for me personally. Like,
Shout out to Mono.
Shout out to
for
Mono,
real,
shout out to
like-
Big John.
Shout
I know
out
I
to
love
Biggs.
y'all, boy, man. We Eating was
I
different.
want to say that you guys put
gonna
such
cry.
an amazing light on my ideas of uniting Mexican food and Filipino food.
You was early too.
Dog,
Hell early.
Just tell me, email later, DM whoever who did that before me. Like who really? I want to know because I might not know who made like Mexican and Filipino food in the Bay before me. I would love-
Mexipino was almost a thing.
I
They
know
don't
there's
even
one-
know. They
I know
don't
there's-
even
I know
know.
there's one dude-
Mexipino
You know,
truck was almost a
and
thing.
people
I don't
were-
even know.
I know there's one dude who was trying to experiment and he made a churro lumpia, but it was whack.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about it.
Mix was early, guys.
But
Chicken
you know-
double burrito was really early.
That shit was before
It was bootleg
a
too.
lot of people that are doing that.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to
thriving off of that now.
I used to walk down from St. Luke's Hospital, 24th, grab that fucking burrito.
Dog,
Chicken
we
double
would
burrito.
sell like, and I shared this with We Eatin', like at the second or third time, we sold like 120 pounds of chicken adobo in a day. Like that shit was big, man. Like,
Yo.
you know, but it was another thing out of love. It was another thing out of love and culture and bringing people together. And I learned a lot about what Filipinos and Mexicans were doing way before in California.
Come
with
on, man.
With the farm worker movement.
Yeah.
And how influential Filipinos were in the boycotts and that whole part of farm worker movement in California.
And that's
So
full
we've
circle
been-
because you've been giving back to that culture. That's full
it was
circle
a
for you.
beautiful thing for me to be a part of that.
Come on, man.
And learn. It was full circle.
It's full circle. You're still doing that.
You know,
Still.
so my kids are Mexipino, and so you know, it's
You
like,
brought the truck
Yo,
out
if
to
your
the
kids-
people.
I'll tell you what.
Representing them,
I'll tell you what. If your kids are Mexipino, that means that those are some of the hardest working motherfuckers. I know, dog. I
wish
know.
it was true. No, I'm just kidding.
Yo,
Shout out to the
they'll be a nurse. They can work for the USPS and have their own food truck, though.
kids, yo.
So I'm gonna say this. Everything we've talked about, everything we've mentioned, Kaepernick, Bobby Flay, Papalote, Al Pastor Papi, does add it all up, and it doesn't compare to me and my love for my kids, and like being a father. That's been the greatest
Shout out.
Spoken like a true
Shit.
poppy.
that I really, yeah. I mean, it oversees more than that's the real puppy.
That's a real poppy shit.
I'm here
yeah.
and I only live and for my children.
When you told me you were going to start Al Pastor Papi, when you remember where we were at?
Where were we?
We were in Pacifica at a music recital.
Tell a random.
Because
For the kids.
For the kids.
Yes.
Your kids'
Oh,
music
okay.
recital.
Nice.
You told me, he was like, hey, I'm gonna start a truck. And I was like, what do you want me to do? What do you want to do? He goes, let's help me get it out there. And then you single-handedly did that because I'm not gonna sit here and act like you wasn't a mastermind at that shit. You know what I mean? Like by you making Al Pastor Papi on Wheels, you brought it to the people, and you didn't hold back. Like when you cook, you always cook for the masses. That's why you brought food to people at the end of the club. But now when you made it your own, you made it mobile, so you were able to bring it to the people. You were in the town.
That was more powerful. That was more powerful than I knew it would be.
Yeah.
Because I took that truck to the farms. Like during
Numerous times.
during the whole COVID shit, we took that little trailer to the farms, to the people that needed it, to their house, Santa Rosa, at the farmers there. After the fires, we took the truck. We took that truck to Oakland. We've taken that truck to the farm workers in Brentwood. We've taken that truck to the people that needed food.
Yeah.
So I was able to take my food to them without, like on the spot.
You were never about the cheesy shit. Let's keep it a buck. You were never about the cheesy shit. You kept it authentic to how you felt. You kept it authentic to what made you happy and what gave you purpose.
Well, and you have to keep it 100% real.
Yes.
I can't boast my al pastor and not have it be I'm giving you the authentic Mexico City recipe for al pastor.
With a pineapple.
Here's my thing with al pastor and my frustration is that a lot of people in the Bay grew up having their favorite al pastor. I get it. You tried Cancun's al pastor. You tried Farolitos al pastor. You tried the taqueria down the street, their al pastor, and it's my favorite. No one can fuck with it. I love it. I get it, because you grew up with it. It's all you know. It's back to me saying like how you don't know. You can't judge Mexican food if you haven't eaten Mexican food in Mexico. Don't get into an argument with me about San Jose's better, Redwood City's better. Woo, woo, if you haven't thoroughly eaten Mexican food in Mexico, right? So, technically speaking, it's not al pastor if it's not from the trompo. That's just a fact. If you go to Mexico and you ask for al pastor, 100% of the time it's going to be from the trompo, because that's what makes it al pastor.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have gotten cutesy with al pastor, and I went to the International Smokehouse. What's that place with
Aisha Curry?
Yeah. Then they made like
It's like a C-,
and they made like something al pastor.
Yeah, it's
and
not
I'm
really
like,
good. I don't like it.
if you put a pineapple on it, it doesn't make it al pastor.
No.
Yeah.
No, but it was delicious. Whatever. And
Yes.
I'm just my
C-.
favorite not al pastor is from Cancun. Taqueria Cancun.
Shout out to Taqueria Cancun. Don't
They
park
make
in the
some-
Burger King parking lot. You'll get towed.
It's some delicious marinated pork.
Yes.
But it's just not al pastor. Right?
I feel that.
So, and I say this like I would ask you if lumpia was wrapped in rice paper. Ooh. Or is it lumpia still?
Fuck no.
No.
No, that's Vietnamese.
So I'm just
sounds like
saying, like,
Vietnamese, though.
why then? How dare you call it lumpia?
Right.
It's not.
If lechon was made out of chicken, is it still lechon?
It's locho manok, but
I do want to take this time to kind of highlight exactly what you're saying, because this is what the poison of Yelp is. Ooh. The poison of Yelp is
Rommel.
Anybody who goes on Yelp is trying to either say something that is scarring or venomous in order to make a stand or in order to make
Elite
a splash.
Elite status.
But in actuality, if you go to any other country, Yelp is non-existent, and that is because they are supportive of any person who is trying to do their own shit.
I'm just gonna say this: throughout 19 years of Papalote and throughout 6 years almost of Al Pastor Papi, I fucked with Yelp zero. I'll say that. That's all I'll say.
All I have to say is
Yelp, you want to sponsor the
Zero.
podcast? Let me know.
No,
I'll
no,
holler
fuck
at you
that.
for it.
No, we ain't taking nothing from
if you
Yelp.
want to,
I'll take that Yelp money. though. I'm just
if
saying.
you're on the fence about trying my food and you go to Yelp to see if you want to fuck with my food,
That's different.
just don't even
Yeah.
come.
No. It's
Just
not
don't
for
even
that.
come.
It's not
Yeah.
for that.
Because
Here's-
if you don't get it, you won't get it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you have to,
And that I'm not trying to be rude.
no,
but
we're not trying to be rude.
It's like I do something very specific. Either you get it or you don't get it. Either you love it or move on.
It's like this though, right? If we were to compare this back to music, I remember days when I was younger where I would buy albums on the strength of one song. And maybe I'm not even really in love with that song, and I'm not in love with that album, but I'd buy the album just to take a risk. What's the risk? $16.99 back then, $8.99.
It's a nice price.
Right. See, the thing is that people are too scared to risk it all. If you want to take a risk, don't fucking look to Yelp to see what's the best hot and new. Just fucking go out there.
Yeah, I love that you said that because it's crazy. Like people come up to me at the truck, and I really don't want to. I hope I don't come out as disrespectful. I appreciate
do.
everyone that comes to my truck.
Love is love.
But
Yeah.
where people ask like, well, what do you like? What's your favorite? I'm like, well, are you gonna buy me lunch, dog? Because take a risk.
Yeah.
You know, really read my menu. And like take a risk. Whatever you usually get at your standard taqueria, get it from me. But you know, be yourself. Don't be scared to take a risk on food. You know, and you might love it, you might not, but at least you know. You know, you don't have to. A lot of you might see some dope shit on Instagram and it looks amazing. Yeah, support the Instagrammer, support the spot, but take a risk and try. You know,
Have your own-
have your own
No,
opinion.
please, that
Have your own
reminds
opinion.
me though. Right? I remember seeing an interview where you were basically rattling off the menu. We have tortas, we have tacos, we have empiros, and that's it. That's a lot. You said that. You emphasized that's a lot. Because the thing is that what the fuck do you want? If you aren't in love with any one of those items and haven't tried any one of those items, then how do you know you don't like it?
Now I will say this. We all have people have their 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That's when you have to be on.
Yeah.
That's when you have to be thinking.
Yeah.
That's when you have to be engaged. That's when you have to be money.
Yeah.
When you get off that job, the last thing you want to do is think. Fucking do anything hard. So you become somebody else. And I do this. I get frustrated at you because you are asking all this stuff. But then I'll go to a place and be like, what's a pizza pepperoni? It's like pizza with pepperoni, you know? So it's like we just kind of lose it and just... So I get it, right? So we're patient, but again, like go...
Just try it.
Explore.
Just,
Do me
just
yeah,
you know?
if I were to ask anybody who's watching right now, just try it and just don't leave a scathing remark that may affect a small
you
business.
can, because I'm not going to see it. I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's like, aside from talking about all that, I just want to big up the people that come and get it.
Yeah.
Like, you see what I've done. You see what's in front of you. You see the trompo. You see the effort. And you get it. Thank you. Because I'm here for you. Right?
You also didn't get your own day in San Francisco for no reason.
Like what?
Sorry.
No, but 100%, I did not get that day because of my food. I got that day because of our commitment to the community.
True.
100%. And so, regardless of my food,
Yeah.
we're always committed to our community, and I personally will always be committed to my community because we are the community. I think things are designed so that we do shit just for ourselves, and that's not right. So it's like we have to really carry our community, carry each other, just overall.
Just in closing words, I know we're like over time. Jan, what do you got for
What do you mean? It's only been like 2 hours.
2 more.
Look, man, if I would have known that this shit was going to be on the day that
the
Lakers played the Clippers and the Warriors are playing, can we just say real quick?
Post the Harden
I
trade.
had a thought when I was driving here that when I was growing up, I'm a Laker fan. You guys know this. You may not know this.
I did
I'm
not
just
know
a Laker
this.
fan.
Doesn't change anything
I know
though,
this.
because you are the man of the community.
I know this.
But I'm a basketball fan.
Yes, he is.
And I just want to point out that when I used to watch basketball, I would watch Michael Jordan's games because he was probably the best player to ever play.
Ever.
And the way you watched is because he would do something that you've never seen before. He would play the game in such an amazing fashion that you would watch.
You can't
because
help but
you
watch.
wanted to see this amazing way of approaching the game. I love Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James is a great player, but I go watch basketball and I watch Warrior games to watch Curry. And since it hasn't been since Jordan that I've gotten that feeling until I've seen Curry. And I think we are experiencing one of the best players to ever do it.
Right.
And so like
our life-
you motherfuckers made me miss this guy. I'm just playing. But
He's the biggest
shout
Laker
out,
fan I know.
shout out to
Basketball.
Curry.
Yeah.
Because we were experiencing one of the best players in our generation
Fuck,
to ever
yes.
play. So shout out to that kid.
What you got for
Shout out. What you got, Jan?
I second that. I used to watch Jordan, and it was super rare, and I haven't had that feeling ever since. And then now I'm getting it with Curry. So
100%.
Rare air. It's rare air.
So
What
I
you
got,
got, Jen?
I got a couple things. It's kind of gonna be a lot, but I think back in the day I used to be, or I'm friends with Apollo and Shortcut, and there was a couple of times where I went to your spot and I was able to experience a triple threat burrito, and I was just like so amazed by that, and I think that's where my being a fan of yours started, because I was like, who does a burrito with my friends?
Yeah.
And it was such like a mind-blowing thing for me.
That was a real thing for the community. I don't know if you know that.
You know, man, like
That was a real big
that's a
thing
huge
for the community.
For me. Like, you know, that burrito was not just a gimmick. Like I wanted to fully give my flowers to
your
these
brethren?
Before
fucking-
that was a thing.
these
Before
brethren.
giving flowers was a thing.
your
You know,
brethren.
the Shortcut, Apollo, and Ben Rock. I mean, Apollo is the most unsung hero of this genre, or sung hero to a lot of us, because he is such a flawless DJ in every aspect of the art, and I learned a lot from Apollo.
He's like the Jermaine Dupri.
Like he's a grand master. Apollo's a grand master, and don't get that twisted. And I don't say that lightly. Apollo's a grand master, and Shortcut looks up to Apollo. I mean, he's
Dawn. He calls
he's
him
the
the Dawn.
man. That guy's humongous. Like his approach to DJing, mind you, he's an original scratch pickle, and he's a bad motherfucker when it comes to theming out mixes before that was a thing.
Yeah.
And I learned a ton from Apollo. I was so honored and privileged to be amongst these cats, dog. So I had to give them their ultra props in the only way I could. And that was with this food,
Yeah.
Triple threat burrito was a bad
amazing.
motherfucker.
I remember when it was $10.
Shut motherfuckers
when
like 40.
when it first came out, it was like 10. Because
Motherfucker, round
that's
table
where
of
like
burrito.
Mission
Yeah.
burritos were like at like a $5-6 range.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. I was like, wow, I gotta pay for that thing, but it was so good, like every part of it.
But know that burrito beat Bobby Flay. That's the burrito
Yeah.
that beat Bobby Flay.
Wow.
And I was
So
there for that.
You have full knowledge of it.
Yes.
You have
Full
full
circle.
knowledge of the whole story behind that burrito and what it did.
Yeah.
And that burrito beat Bobby Flay.
Amazing.
100%.
Second thing was shout out. I didn't know you were a b-boy, but Apollo was a b-boy too, which he influenced me, and I couldn't believe like his style and the way he had long hair. That's why I rock my long hair too. So that's why I had a ponytail.
Swift Rock had the same style.
Right.
One time we were at a hotel room in Las Vegas for Fran Boogie's bachelor party.
Were you wearing Jesus slippers?
And I was wearing Jesus Airs. That's
Rare.
been documented on
The most rarest hairs.
on Friendster and MySpace. And we were so hyphy that night that Apollo did about 7 or 8 gyros in the middle of the fucking windmills.
Wow.
In the middle of the hotel room. That's how hyphy we got that night. And I saw that.
Praise the Lord.
It blew my mind, dog.
Apollo was a pretty
Apollo's,
bad b-boy.
He's just a dope dude. Shout out to
He's hip hop.
Grandmaster DJ Apollo.
That motherfucker's hip hop.
All right. I think I'm gonna end it on this. I just want to say thank you for your time. It means a lot to us, me especially on the podcast. I always visited your truck, and I always felt at home, and I think that's what you kind of convey. And what is it called? I always love that feeling. Like, even though I didn't know you, we didn't know each other. When I was ordering, it felt like we did know each other. And on the on the fun, on like the weirdest occasions, like I would send you stuff on a DM.
Let him finish.
Right. I
I
would
need
send,
screenshots to confirm.
I would send you like
I just have to
DMs,
finish.
and then you would kind of like remix it and repost it, and I would be like, wow, like Miguel, like really like open, and like I felt, you know, like super at home, and that made me want to support you like
Yeah, man,
even
like,
more.
please know, and thank you, brother, and please know that I am so grateful at anyone that gets what I'm doing or appreciates what I'm doing, whether it's DJing or my food. Like I'm it's coming from the heart, you know, and it's coming out of love, and it's my true story in music form or in food form. And so for you to appreciate it or get it, it means the world to me. It means a ton to me. So I'm gonna, if you fuck with me, I fully fuck with you. Ask this man.
1000%. JD Fresh.
JD Fresh was
JD
your
Fresh.
So, man, I totally fanboyed out, but I'm a foodie, man, and I always appreciate good food. And I would see you at the venue, say what's up. I see you at the chef store, I'd say what's up. And I don't know if you knew, but after in my head, I'm like, that's that dude right there. And I see even Mama's met him, and I'm like,
Shout out to Mama.
He joked around like, you don't make her work, right? I'm like, oh yeah, she does her own thing. I'm like, Mama, that's that guy right there. Like he is it. But there's one thing that I've never shared with anyone here yet. A good family friend, Roddy, aka Rock Roo, a good family friend, very close to us, passed away about 2 years ago. And that dude's, one of his final requests is El Pastor Papi's got to be there at my celebration of life and serve everybody. And for someone who's like ready to go, out of all the choices in the world, Roddy chose you, right? And I was there. You were serving up 100 plus ube horchatas, everything, bro. I mean, like, for someone to choose you out of like everything is just a testament, bro, to like not just the food that you offer, but the person, you.
I remember that, man.
And that motherfuckers and FREE99ers is your Yelp review right there.
Yo, man, that's dope. You know, and like it really shows you that it comes from the heart, and then when people get it, it clicks, right? And it's bigger than any of this. It's bigger than the food, and it's bigger than the music. It's the human connection, and that alone is the sole purpose of all this, is that human connection, you know. And so I love that happened, and I love hearing about that we made a human connection, and I made a human connection, and when we're all done with this, that's all that counts, because that goes on forever, right? So right on, man. Thank you. That means a lot.
I mean, because you could serve us some bomb ass food, right? But like, if you were just like whatever, serving the bomb food, number 73, number 70, whatever, here's your food. That's that. But like, man, for a person to actually have a final request and have you in it, you got to be that person. You know, like you can't just serve up the food. You got to be that genuine person. That's you, bro.
You
So
know,
much love.
I think the man, or for giving me these vehicles to make that human connection, because I made it with this guy, making it with you guys, and that's really what it's all about, and that's what I want to. If I can share one thing with my children, is that's what it's all about, and let's just stay open to really connecting with people and just making this whole thing a better thing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fucking amazing.
A car's gonna break down, a house might burn down, but the human connection is unfuckwithable. 100%.
Prior to you becoming the Al Pastor Papi, you were doing what you did, and what you did was amazing. You've touched so many lives, but there was a point in time where you saw a trampo, right? Not put together. You saw the layers of meat. You saw all of the seasonings, the pineapple, and from afar, nobody can make any sense of it. But like what you did, or what you did do, like what you do with everything else, is that you put it all together and you make it beautiful.
Yeah, man. But I'm sharing my story of my experience, my life. The first time I was a little kid and I seen Al Pastor. You gotta appreciate the fact that I love Benihanas.
I saw that.
And the reason why I love Benihanas is because you get the show.
Yeah.
And the food is great, but it's the show.
Yeah.
God damn, that shit is...
Prior, right?
Before Benihanas was Al Pastor, the real Al Pastor. And there's some fucking amazing dudes. LA's trying to do it, but you never seen it like you see it in Mexico City, where here's a story I want to tell you.
Go for it.
I grew up in Mexico City. I love Al Pastor. I moved to the United States, and I came back when I was like 14, 15 to Mexico City. And the first thing I wanted to do was get some Al Pastor. There's a place called El Tizoncito in Mexico City. They have a few locations. We went to like a nicer one. The way they charge you is you stand next to the guy with a trompo, and he's fucking shit up. There's like 7 people next to him, and he's cutting it up. You tell him you don't want onions, you want mild salsa, you want them with everything, you want it with spicy. Okay, he remembers that. So he's just making tacos 4 for you, the way you want them. He flicks the pineapple, catches it behind his back, 4 for you, flick it again, boom, salsa, all with the knife, 4 for you. And I'm just going like, God damn, did I get my 4? And then everyone's eating. Every taco has a wax paper. Everyone's eating. If you stand there, you're getting 4 more. I ain't moving. 4 more. You ain't moving. 4 more. The way you want them. You step away, then you don't get any more, right? Boom, boom, boom. You go to the register. The lady counts your wax papers, your empty bottles, and that's how you get rung up.
Yeah.
I stood there that time, and I didn't move. I ate 27 tacos al pastor. 27. And I think it was an even number until I said, like, give me like 1 more.
Yeah.
My point is, like, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. From the memory of that and that day. And what it did to me and that guy, and seeing his skill set and the mastery of this food. What the fuck? Right? Like, what's going on? Like, there's delicious pork stacked in this cone with a pineapple, and this guy's killing it. I so fell in love with that. I took shortcut to Mexico City to witness that.
I think that's the magic in you, though. The fact that you... identify that. You identify how much something so simple can mean so much to somebody else.
I mean, it's the process. There was so much process, so many people involved in making my experience happen. How can I not
give back.
acknowledge and love that, and understand it?
And I want to say that is spoken like a true Papi.
I love it when you call me Big Papi.
I called you. I didn't mention the size, but
Maybe I think I did. It's all good.
Go ahead, guys.
You never, it's always been an open door from day one. And you allowed me to rock with whatever project I threw at you is always a yes. And just being able to have a front seat to the growth is crazy.
Yo, man, and I appreciate your view of this, because from We Eatin' to the F word to everything that you've done in your endeavor in the food truck scene and your endeavors in everything you do, and you've been a fucking, I couldn't have done it without you. You've been a cheerleader to me.
You that dude though.
You
You made
it's
it easy.
I appreciate the fuck out of you, and I worked a 16-hour day. I don't know what a day off is anymore, but this is
your day off.
This is I'll spend my. I'd rather be here with you, brother, than to watch any game, or I'll give up time with my kids or what I usually do to make a memory with you, man, because you mean a lot to me as far as everything I've done, and you being that echo in a lot of everything I've done.
That's fucking
DJing,
that's beautiful.
food, everything. So
I'm a fan of the man.
and I'm a fan of you. So thank you, and come to my podcast next time.
Hey,
FREE99.
Come to my podcast.
I told him he has this, and a core memory I have is taking my mom and my dad to your restaurant, and you were working Mother's Day, and I brought my mom, and she goes, "I've been hearing so much about your cooking, I can't wait." And then I was like, "Relax, Mom, you're here with Dad." Relax, could you not touch this guy? And that's a core memory as our parents are getting older, and just seeing things like that's one thing I always remembered. And she's taken so many people to whatever you've done, and you may not remember what you look like, but she's followed your projects because of how much I love what you do. You've allowed me to be like a part of the team. You fed me millions of times.
Millions more.
Millions. Like shit that's not even on the menu. He'd be like, "Hey, try this. I got this." It would be sitting there. He was like, I made this. I need you to try this. Let me know what you think." You allowed me in every door possible, and
Yeah, man.
it's sincere. It's from a real place, man. I love you, and I love what you do, and
And that's why, because I do know that I feel that love, and I need that love from my community to keep going, because I need that. I'm real, and I go through dark times.
life be life.
And I draw on my peoples, and you're my people, So thank you. Thank this man for letting me be this guy.
For real.
100%, man. Thank you.
Like I said, I had a front seat, and it's watching all the Food Network shit and the Chop shit, and then
It's
the
a spring
Bolitan
prison.
America shit. You was on. Why are you so Filipino?
Bro, you did the
Why
crossover, dog.
Facts. That's a fact. Like the lady told me
Oh my God! I had a snot
on the
booger.
Double Nation.
Double Nation.
She's like, you know what? You're the first non-Filipino chef we've had on the show. I'm like, okay. But
in a Filipino predominated area.
I'm saying,
Come on.
like Lolas were coming up to me. Dude. I had Lola game. I should make a shirt.
Lola game.
So but
Lola
there's no. One time, my aunt, she's like, "Hey, how the hell did you get Chuy Gomez to talk about your restaurant for like 20 minutes on
Shout out to
KML?
Chewy, man.
And I'm like, because I'm doing me.
Authentic.
There's no recipe. Do you?
Do you be authentic?
I'm just doing me, you know, and then it led me to these doors, man. So just like, I'm literally just doing me. I don't know if a lot of people understand that, but I just want the best for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, a friend of mine, I love the high tide rises all boats. I love that because it's true. You know, if we can all come up, and we should all come up, but we can't do it alone. Like, we need this community. You know, like I'll say this before closing. It's
Amazing.
like so many crazy things are happening in this world, and we might not be super educated on what's really going on, but we can't let our brothers and sisters suffer, right? We have to speak for the unspoken, always. And that drives me. And so I do it for the farm workers and anyone that sees any injustice. Like, if we have the voice, let's use our platform for what's right. And that's the bottom line, you know? So I'm on that path, man.
DJ Mr. E. This is Al Pastor Papi. This is episode 195.
195
of the FREE99 podcast. I love you, Miguel.
I love you, brother.
Episode 195. Thank you.